Hello! It's been a few months since I put out a video, and somehow in that time I've gained a few new subscribers. So yay, thank you for subscribing! Today's video will be of me coloring a few panels for my new comic, which I'll talk about in a bit. And as usual, I'm working in Clip Studio Paint. So as you may have noticed, the world has been having a stream of diarrhea, and my work schedule has not been much altered from this fresh and constant diarrhea that's happening. For me, adapting to this new life of quarantining is not a big problem since I'm an introvert who's already been working from home without much of a social life for years. And I was already a bit of a germaphobe before this, so transitioning into a bigger germaphobe, cleaner, disinfector, was not much of a problem either. I find that there's plenty that I can do indoors, and although I don't like being in a constant state of paranoia when I step outside for a walk or to get groceries. Much of my efforts for the past few days have been going towards working on a completely new comic. I'm calling it Teeny Concoctions. It's set in an imaginary Mediterranean-like city of anthropomorphic animals with some aesthetics borrowed from the 1910s. It's colorful. Oh, I should mention Europe 1910s. So it's colorful, it has lighthearted humor, and it's totally kid-friendly. The main characters are a group of youngsters, a puppy, bunny, kitten, and baby bird. And they're called the Gang of Cuties by the townspeople. It's been really fun to draw in a simpler style and to do a bit of world building for Teeny Concoctions. I've decided that the official color of the city is yellow to symbolize prosperity and happiness, so there's a lot of yellows and greens around the city. Also known for its abundant sources of different colored clay that come from the surrounding land, so most of the homes, especially for those in the middle and lower class neighborhoods, are made from that. This is the comic where I'm pushing my colors to be a little more brighter and riskier because my colors are usually quite muted, and I know I say this in almost every video I make, but yeah, this is the one where I'm going to try to push it some more. And right now I'm keeping the coloring flat in order to focus on producing more pages. And I figure that once I finish all the pages and I still have time before having to print the books for a convention, I can go back and add shading to all the pages. And it would be simple shading, like maybe one or two extra layers of color. It would be the extra icing on top, because I think it already looks kind of pretty nice as flat colors. I've been pulling a lot of inspiration from Joan Sfar's Little Vampire comic because his colors can be so loopy and fun. You should check out that comic and you will see what I mean. The reason I suddenly got the idea to go with this project is that I was accepted into Cake, which for those of you who don't know, it's the Chicago Alternative Comics Expo. It was my first time applying, and I was pretty pleased to get accepted because it's more of a curated show. And I was so excited because this would have been my first tabling convention in quite a while. But then the world started having that aforementioned diarrhea, and all kinds of conventions were being cancelled. Thankfully, Cake is postponed for June 2021, so I'm still gonna have my spot, and hopefully things will be better by then. Anyway, the most important thing is that people stay safe and act responsibly so that this whole thing can be resolved sooner, instead of getting dragged out for a long time with more suffering. Anyway, I hope you all have been well and aren't too stressed about the current times. Please feel free to comment below on what you've been up to these days, whether it's art related or not. And thanks for watching. I'm gonna about some stuff in another video, maybe in another few months if I'm being realistic. So yeah, bye bye. Okay, I lied. It's not time for bye bye just this moment. I wanted to talk about folder organization when I'm for this comic specifically. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can probably see that in my folders I have them numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, for how many panels there are in one page. So one main folder for each panel, and then within one panel's folder I have 3 folders that are marked T, and the one below is I, and the one below that is C, and it stands for text, inks, and colors. And I was wondering, I'm curious how other people organize their folders, so that if that is something you also want to share, then you can write that below too. Okay, that is all for reals now. Goodbye. Bye bye.